Hey, what's happening? What's popping, everybody? Week 1, Battle 1. This is what we all came for. This is an exciting match. This is the game of the week. You guys are all going to enjoy this. This is going to be hype. You got to stay to the end. This is a great match against two very good opponents. Me, the CPC finalists winner, and Merc, who just won the GPC. So you got two guys that are coming off titles. This is the newcomers of the NPL, and we gotta shine. We gotta make sure we're coming in, we're not gonna be kicked over, and we're real threats in the NPL. So going over my team, I did post a team builder not too long ago, so if you guys want to check that out, make sure to check that out in my videos. But if you just want to go straight in the match, straight in it raw, make sure just to stay tuned and kind of go over what we do in this game, get the insights of the King, Purple Raven 24, not Gypsy King. Fuck that guy. So, yeah, I see that he has Sylveon. I definitely did not expect the Sylveon, but my game plan kind of going into this is I don't see a Mantine, and he does have two potential defoggers, but if he has defog, that means he doesn't have the spinner and Torkoal, and I can just hazard stacks, and if he tries to get up rocks versus me, I'm just going to make sure he defogs my rocks away, or I'm going to get up spikes. Another thing that I got to keep in mind is that he has two stealth rockers. He's got the Crocodile and he's got Jirachi. So I want to make sure that he cannot get up rocks as soon as possible, and I got to threaten his team out with my offensive mods. So I don't want to lead off with my Registeel or my Mew because they're too passive, and I need them healthy to take hits. So I definitely need my Registeel in this game. It's going to be huge because, once again, it does wall things like the Latios. If it's not Dragon Dance, it deals with the Sylveon. It can switch into the Boom Bursting thing, and it can deal with pretty much any variant of Jirachi. And once again, I need to keep my Mew healthy for Dual Dance Terrakion. So my defensive core is looking pretty good, and I do have the Thundurus that can switch into the Crocodile. So everything is, for the most part, checked. Kinda, sorta. Defensively and offensively. Offensively, as long as I can make the right reads with Kyurem and Darm, I'm just clicking Flare Blitz. Because, like, Flare Blitz is still doing a ton of damage. It's pretty much a 2 KO on Terrakion, unless he's defensive Terrakion, which if he's defensive Terrakion, then that means it's probably not Dual Dance, and that's not scary. And if I get off Flare Blitz damage on the Latios, that's fine because he might not have recovery and this and that. So I decided, you know what, I want to lead off with my Darmanitan. Darmanitan, once again, it can deal with his two Stealth Rockers pretty good because unless he's a really defensive Crocodile, he's not going to really appreciate a Flare Blitz that well, and I might even go for two Flare Blitzes if I do predict him to go for rocks, and I can immediately get rid of the Crocodile, which otherwise really could threaten my defensive core. But I decided, you know what, I'm going to lead off with Darm as he leads off with his Sylveon. He just goes for Protect. That's fine with me. I'm choice locked, I'm choice scarfed, and I'm forced to go for return, or U-turn. And I make sure, once again, make sure to do the EVs. I see that he is a defensive Crocodile because that is a super effective hit from Adamant Darmanitan, and that still kind of did nothing. So he's Rocky Helmet, that's good to know, and I go right out into my Greninja. This means that I can get up a spike, easy peasy, and if he stays in with his Crocodile, 1, he's bad because I can kill him with a water type move, and 2, I have no reason to do that because I can take an Earthquake or anything other than a superpower, and I can just get up a spike. Yeah, so I get up a spike, and I decide, you know what, now I can just get up my rocks, and things are looking good. I got my hazards up, and he sends out his Crocodile, which is really scary for me, but I do have the defensive switch into the Thundurus as he sets up his rocks. We're trading, and I decided, you know what, this was kind of, I was thinking about this turn for only like a tiny bit because, like, he decides he wanted to stay in, and I switched my Thundurus on the Crocodile, which meant I could have potentially forced him out, because I could have went for like a focus blast or whatever. But he decided he wanted to stay in because, you know, which is a very, very good move, because if I start setting up nasty plots, it can get really scary very fast. And his team, if I carry, you know, I might carry Dark Pulse for the Latios, I might carry Sludge Wave for Sylveon, and etc., and I might have enough bulk to live from a Swallow. So, and he's not Scarf Terrakion, as you'll see later on in the game. So he decides to stay in and fire off a knockoff, but that's great for me because I don't get the knockout on the Crocodile, but I do damage it to the point where he dies to hazards. So he is able to keep a sack, but I'm just gonna fire off a knockoff because getting rid of an item is good. I can get rid of any item, and I get rid of the lefties on the Sylveon, which means that I can wear Sylveon down a little bit better. So now I'm just going to taunt to make sure if he does go for Hyper Voice, that'd be kind of a weird play because I think he needs to Wish Up to get back the health on the Sylveon, but I think I should be able to live a Hyper Voice because I'm very, very bulky. And even if he kills me, he kills me. And I just want to taunt this because Sylveon's kind of hard for me to kill. And I'm just going to U-turn out of there and just go out into my Registeel because I don't want my Darmanitan to take a Hyper Voice so early in the game, and that's pretty much my switch into Sylveon. So he decides to go out into Jirachi, which is very interesting, but I also understand it because like Registeel is kind of tricky for him to deal with now that the Crocodile is gone. And there was a problem with my team right now. I don't have lefties on the Registeel. I definitely should have lefties on it, but unfortunately, when I loaded up this team, I have like random dinosaur nicknames on all my mons because I think I'm cool or whatever. But I don't know what to nickname mons. I just put random stuff. But I'm actually Choppleberry on the Registeel. Originally, I did have Life Orb Kyurem and Choppleberry Registeel to kind of work around the Terrakion, but I decided that because I'm going to be Choice Scarf Kyurem, that outspeeds the Terrakion before if it sets up a Rock Polish. I can afford to run lefties on Registeel because lefties on Registeel means that I can switch into things like Sylveon and Jirachi and I can just like never die. But now I'm on a timer because I don't have lefties, and Registeel would like, you know, it would basically actually be able to PP stall the Jirachi, but I don't have lefties, and that's definitely going to come into play. So right now I'm scouting out what his set is, and he's the Wish set with Chocoberry, but I popped it, and that's really good for me. So now he goes out in the Sylveon, he gets the Wish Up with that, and I just go out into my Darm, make an aggressive double into the Darm, and I'm just going to smack something with a Flare Blitz. So here he sacks a Crocodile, he kept the sack, and now he goes out into the Terrakion. So once again, if he sets up a Dual Dance, I lose the game. So I'm forced to go for Flare Blitz because I have no other play, because I don't want to lose the game. So as you saw, he went for a Stone Edge and he missed, and that really sucks. That means that Terrakion will be able to get potentially another kill unless he goes out into his Latios, and that miss obviously is big because he's forced to sack his Mon, and he didn't get a kill on my Darm. So obviously he hacks. I didn't want that to happen, but I can't control that. And he's going to decide he's going to sack his Jirachi. So what my game plan was, Jirachi, because I did see the majority of his move pool, I would eventually switched my Greninja in to scout out, because Greninja pretty much deals with any variant of Jirachi unless Jirachi has like special coverage like Energy Ball or something like that. My Greninja. And keeping the Jirachi, it was like good and bad for him, right? This thing definitely could have put in a lot of work versus me, because he could have maybe eventually, he would have had to get off a Heal Bell at some point in time, and then he would have been able to take hits from my Kieran Black, deal with my Mew a little bit better, because he actually did have Toxic on it, and it can Toxic my Mew, and kind of go from there. But unfortunately, he has to sack off his Jirachi, and that's really unfortunate. I really did not want that. So here, he goes out into his Latios. So, being the fact that, well, Latios can run a lot of different sets, but I want to make sure I don't lose to a setup Lati. And it's either going to be Calm Mind or Dragon Dance. I decide if he's Calm Mind, I'll just go out into my Thundurus and I'll taunt him or U-turn, or, you know, kind of go for whatever. I want to pick a sack. I don't want to go straight Mew because, one, he can maybe like go for a random Draco or something like that, even though he'd probably go for Psychic there to finish off my Darm. But if he's Dragon Dance, I can just either U-turn out into the Mew to get switch initiative into the Mew, or, you know, kind of go from there. But yeah, so he sets up a Dragon Dance and he shows that he is Dragon Dance. That's definitely the set that I expected because it put in the most work. So now I'm just going to go out to Mew. So Mew can actually live 2 +1 Dragon Claws because I'm max HP, max defense. I can live 2 Dragon Claws after rocks, and I can Toxic. So the first turn I'm going to Toxic, and then it's going to be a little bit of mind games, but if he goes for Dragon Claws, I can spam Roosts, and I can kind of Toxic Stall him and gain lefties. But if he were to go for Dragon Dances on my Roosts, I might also predict that and go for Roar. So the main plan here is to get a Toxic off on this first and foremost, no questions asked. So I'm gonna get off a Toxic, and he revenges my, well, he gets a crit. So we do get crit for crit here, which obviously is really big because now I'm in a really bad position. Now I'm forced to sack off my Mew. That's really big because now Tracheon's going to be, you know, even more scarier, especially if he's a Choice Scarf Tracheon. I might just all out lose, but actually wait, no, he's already revealed that he's not Choice Scarf because my Choice Scarf Darm outsped the Tracheon, so he's like Slow Scarf. But anyways, yeah, he's able to take out my Mew, and that's really scary. The next mod I decided to go out into is my Darm. Darm's only on 1%, and I have a lot of speed on Darm. He's at +1, but I don't know how much speed he has on his Latios. I might be able to outspeed, but no, I don't outspeed. And toxic damage is racking up, so now I go out into my Registeel. And he would have to get an absolute max roll, I think, in order to kill my Registeel. But he doesn't. I'm able to pretty much live any hit from the Latios at +1. And I'm able to kill off the Latios with a Seismic Toss. So, you know, pretty unfortunate once again that I did lose a couple mons, but, you know, crit for crit, hacks for hacks. And he's going to finish off the Sylveon. And I gotta, I gotta cut, you know, I gotta do something in here. So I'm looking at his team, and spoilers, I'm Scarf Kieran Black. Now, he didn't expect me to be Scarf Kieran Black. Nobody expected me to be Scarf Kieran Black, but I have to play this perfectly. If I play this perfectly, I win the game. But if I don't play it perfectly, then I lose the game. So there's a couple elements that we gotta go. Originally, I also did have Gunk Shot on my Greninja, but I do have Physical Waterfall, and that's I'm actually happy that I have Waterfall over Gunk Shot because Gunk Shot has a chance to miss. If I miss a Gunk Shot, then I lose the game, and I can Waterfall flinch him, or I can taunt him on the Wish, etc., etc. So all I need to do is potentially chip the Silk, but basically I have two ways to win. I could either go out in a Kieran Black, Iron Head him. Iron Head doesn't kill. I can Iron Head him, do like 50%, and then he kills me off with a Hyper Voice. Or, and then the next turn I would go out and Greninja, Waterfall him. Greninja kills the Tracheon, and then it all basically comes down to this Swallow. Now Swallow definitely can run Modest. Modest Swallow helps him easier versus the Registeel, he might do like aggressive speed creeping. Like he might expect me to not run enough speed to outspeed a modest spec Swallow, and I had to do a lot of thinking here. I had to decide, is he modest Swallow or is he timid Swallow? And I decided ultimately he's going to be timid Swallow because he needs to be able to outspeed the Thundurus, the Greninja, things like that, and the extra power of Heat Wave still does not 2 a KO, especially defensive Registeel. So I decide I'm going to go out into Greninja. I got to play this perfectly. Once again, I'm going to go for Waterfall because that's my strongest move to hit the Sylveon, as he goes for a Hyper Voice, which is good. Now he could have wished up, and that could have been kind of scary. And once again, I would have had to play around with. I would have had to eventually taunt on his wish, or I would have had to flinch him, or things like that. And now it's game time. Now I go out into my Scarf Kyurem, and I'm gonna be able to kill off the Sylveon, and so that's good. Now I've already revealed my Z move Mon, which was my Thundurus, and so he knows I'm not a Z move. I could be Chopo, I could be this, I could be that. And he goes out he goes out into Terrakion. He already saw my Scarf Dimension, but we knocked out the Terrakion. I'm Scarfed. He did not see that coming. So now it comes down to this. Swallow cannot knock out my Kyurem Black unless he's modest, and or he gets a crit. There's a couple things. I have Scarf Ironhead. If I get a crit, I knock him out. If I get a flinch, I kill him. I 2 KO him, and yeah. So I go for an Ironhead. It does not flinch. It does not crit. He goes for a Boom Burst. We're able to live that hit. He's not modest, and we knock him out, dude. Game of the week, easy, hands down. Such a fun match, such a good way to start off the season, and I'm happy for the W because we're showing the NPL that we're men out here. The Detroit Butterfrees are taking this title, and yeah, at least we're gonna try to. And if we lose, then we just cry, rage, and just cyberbully everybody. But I hope you guys all enjoyed that. That was a great match with my boy Merc. His channel will be in the description below. And we're going to be uploading week 2 right in, let's see, Monday. So that might be today. That might be tomorrow. You might be seeing this match as well. So it's, sorry, once again, week 1 was a little bit late, but we're going to be seeing back-to-back matches, my week 1, my week 2, so hopefully we can get the week 2 win versus my